So I quit my job. I'm okay. Everything's fine. I did have a breakdown, but it was very necessary. It was just another spiritual awakening, as they kill them as they do. And yeah, I was just coming to a certain point in my life where I'm like ready for a change. I'm ready to rev up my life and get it, redirected to a new path. I'm ready to be in the driver's seat of my life and not allow my ego and social expectations and different confining constructs contain me and confine me to a version of myself that doesn't fully align with the essence of my soul. It doesn't really allow me to fully embody, expand, and express, my essence, and doesn't really give me the space and the flow and the freedom to be able to inspire others to do the same for themselves. I am an elemental alchemist, a Syrian mermaid, gypsy soul, free spirit, among many other things. Growing up, I was always so inquisitive. I wanted to learn, I wanted to get involved, I wanted to help people, and so I really took strongly to biology. So my background educationally and just through application is in behavioral neuroscience, genetics, molecular genetics, and cancer research. So I did that for a number of years, got into healthcare, and I love people, and I loved being able to connect with people's stories and be part of a journey and have, an impact in the way that I did. It was an honor to be able to do that and to meet some beautiful souls that also helped to lead me to the path I'm on now. There are no coincidences, God makes no mistakes. So even if you're confused and you're struggling in your life and you're like, oh, I'm working this dead-end job, I don't love it, I kind of hate my life right now, it's okay. This is temporary. You can always shift your reality. And I'm not just saying that from, so privileged, This was something I had to really be like, okay, girl, let's check the coin, let's rearrange, let's figure this out. And I was like, yeah, no matter how many different ways I spin this, it's just freaking time to change. Because if not now, collective, when? If not now, then when? And even if you're not overnight snapping a change quick in a hurry, like the Tower card, you still know that you're due for a change. You still know that you're feeling a deep cognitive dissonance at the soul level. Like you feel like you're leading almost like a double life. Like you tell people you do this and you're this thing that you kind of fucking hate at this point, or you resent it because you feel like you're in a box that you don't belong in. Why not give yourself permission to raise above that and expand? Because you're multidimensional. You're not meant to just do this one thing, right? And certainly not for the sake of others who are also projecting onto you a reality that more than likely they don't even really feel resonant with. The goal is to be authentic. And how do you do that? You just be. You just ask yourself the honest questions. You just sit with yourself and you challenge your belief and you challenge your experience and just kind of give yourself the constructive feedback to say, hey, is this really what I want to do? Or is this still what I want to do? So for me, I was like, I knew the 9-to-5 reality was just not a thing for me. I have a strong entrepreneurial, free spirit. I love independence, the freedom to be able to wake up at 8 a.m. and go to the coffee shop and then run over to the park and ground myself and earth myself by planting my feet on the ground and just being anchored in by Mother Earth and nature. And just being able to do something like this on a Monday, a Sunday, a Tuesday, whatever. It's my time. I create the schedule. And there's freedom that comes with that. And say you enjoy 9 to 5, then you enjoy 9 to 5. This is not me, you know, trashing on anybody who, you know, you do feel, again, a resonance with it. But many people, it's true that many people don't. And it's because there's something else you're meant to be doing with your life. That's not the means to an end. Many of us, you know, we're feeding someone else's grandkids. We're putting other people's children through school and just pouring in all of our life force, all of these years of labor and service, just for someone to be able to fire you the same day. But if you quit that same day, oh, that's not, you know, proper professional etiquette, you know? I'm the kind I'll put in my 2 weeks resignation, you know, because that's just the courtesy of it all. But by no means do these jobs do that. There's nothing else, there's no legacy that comes with that. So it's essential, no matter what, to have something that you're able to pour into that is going to help you raise into spiritual, financial, you know, material, physical, mental wealth. Because we can't keep playing one-dimensional, right, as multi-dimensional beings. So don't sell yourself short. And you know, this video was about me kind of just sharing my experience and, you know, hopefully to inspire you to awaken into doing the same and to reflect on, you know, what you want for yourself and to just kind of ruminate a little bit about how in alignment or out of alignment you are with that reality. Are you really still striving for that? Are you getting a little lax? Do you find yourself in an uncomfortable position? And what are things you can do now to continue to put you on the path towards your highest timeline? So, with patience, this is a growth thing. This is a patience process. This is our life. You know, Earth, we come here, we choose this. We chose this, you guys, to experiment. Earthlings are very experimental beings, and we like to try different things, play with different things, you know, dabble in the stars, and which kind of leads me to the path I'm on now. I mean, I went through a lot of different experiences through university, through primary school, through different events and opportunities and experiences I was part of, different relationships that I've cultivated throughout my life, connections I've made. I'm just learning so much about myself through the ways people reflected a version of me back to myself. No matter how light or dark it was an opportunity to learn and to share and to exchange something from them to me, from me to them. And I choose in my life to look at the opportunity in every experience. And I had to start reframing my experiences. Hey, I'm not a victim. Hey, I'm not stuck at this job. You know, I can quit. I can stop working here. I can just, you know, when you have skills and you know, you're trained or you have experience, you can always get another job. But are you honoring your path? Does this go in alignment with what's really for you? You have to dissolve the mask. You know, whatever metaphorical acid you need, drown that shit and dissolve it in that acid bath. Okay? I don't know how graphic I have to get to emphasize that. And that's just me talking to myself as well. Like, for real talk. So yeah, I quit my 9 to 5, you know, I parted cordially with my team. I mean, it's not the first time I quit a job, you know. I'm not so attached to a job because it doesn't define who I am. It's just a function, a role, a position that I play at that phase of time. But I was ready to live a new life. Yes, but in this one life. Because in our life, we lead many different lives. Just how many of them do you actually love? And when is it time to die and shed and become reborn again? When is it time to recognize, okay, maybe my ego was getting a bit too involved in this part of the process because I've overstayed my welcome somewhere I don't feel welcome anymore. Somewhere I feel like I have outgrown as a soul. Not that it's inherently bad, but you in that position at that time, when you've mastered that, or when it no longer resonates with you, when it no longer fits your frequency, it's time to rise. It's time to embody a greater version of yourself. It's time to honor your truth. And so I went through several spiritual awakenings, a dark night of the soul. And there was a time where I didn't even think I was going to walk for graduation. I was just so detached from it all. Honestly, more of the label. Like, I don't care to be like, oh, I have a degree. Like, I don't walk around telling people about my degree. You know, some people, if it comes up in conversation, if it bears some sort of relevancy to what we're talking about, you know, it's cool. Some people are like, oh, that's great. You know, that's dope. Like, they see the value in the time and dedication I've poured into investing in my education and myself, and to use the resources and opportunities and network that, you know, I was blessed with to, you know, raise my community and to be a better version of myself. But I'm not all of these fantastical labels. I'm Syrian mermaid or whatever, you know, like I'm a soul. Whatever you want to call it, man. I'm present. And a lot of times we're chasing, constantly chasing things. But it's like we're never happy. We put things so far away from us or outside of us to then allow ourselves at that point, when I have this much money in my bank account, when I have this kind of relationship, when I have kids, or when I have this, or when I, whatever the heck you know, we're told to want, or you feel that you desire truly, whatever that is, you don't need to postpone your happiness and your peace. That is always available to you. It's how you frame your experiences. And I knew part of my peaceful reality didn't have my 9-to-5 in it, you know? And I became that much more passionate about my spiritual journey and my path as a reader, and saying, hey, like, I wake up probably even earlier now than I did then, because I have a different sense of purpose about what I do. And no day is absolutely perfect. You know, things hiccup along, you know, there's hiccups and burps along the process, you know, but again, that's life, and we have to have grace with ourselves. And we have to remember that we're abundant, and one experience doesn't define our whole reality. You know, just recalibrate. If you feel a little off, out of alignment, or you're on the right path, this may just be confirmation that you're doing the right thing. But I'm here as a mirror, a reflection of a version of yourself, or a part of you that wants you to look again. You know, there's this word that we use a lot called respect. And like I said, this journey is about honoring yourself. Sister Dr. 𝘂𝑚𝑐 Muhammad, may Allah be pleased with her, she talked about, I remember I used to, you know, I read her books and I used to watch her a lot. I adore this woman. She's a beautiful soul. She has transitioned into another dimension, but she's still with us in spirit. And she said that respect means to respect meaning look, to look, and again, to look again. To respect yourself and honor yourself in your journey is to look again, to reassess, to give yourself another look and say, have I truly acknowledged myself? Not somebody else's expectation, not the shame and the guilt that has been projected onto you about things that you should want that you really don't truly want. When you ask yourself, maybe you just need to clear the slate. Maybe you need to quit your 9-to-5. Maybe you don't. But regardless, honor your truth. And as a reader, it's essential that I follow my intuition. It's essential that I pay attention to the downloads the Most High and my assigned angels and spirit guides and ancestors are showing to me. There are so many signs. Earlier, I was chilling in the car, just reflecting, and I'm out here just chilling in the beautiful, beautiful sunlight and the beautiful day and nature. And guess what, guys? I see a hawk flying and soaring, and I'm journaling certain things. I'm like, oh my God, that's kind of information. So I'm like, let me look this up. You know, spirit animals, they're always kind of like around. And sometimes, and I'll talk about more about this later, you'll hear a lot more of my spiritual topics. And I know a lot of you, even especially from on TikTok, wanted me to do more of these kinds of videos where we have dialogues and I talk about these things. But a hawk flew, it soared around, and then it came back and it swooped right by my car window. And I'm like, these birds, they have a way of just being so obvious. It's like, I already see you, and then you have to make another appearance and just like swoop on by. And I'm like, I stood up and I looked out the window. I was like, whoa, like that hawk is so beautiful. I just saw it soaring over the beautiful landscape. And I'm like, man, I looked on my phone and I'm like, what does that mean spiritually? There's different kinds of hawks, but essentially it's pay attention, be sharp, and quick. Move on things with determination and ferocity, with audacity, with authenticity. Be deliberate, have conviction about your life. And if you don't have that, then maybe you're not aligned. If you can't feel alive, if you don't feel your life, if you don't feel like you're living, then why participate in that reality? Let me read to you here what I found online. Okay, hawk spiritual meaning. If you see a hawk, here's the true unexpected significance of them appearing in your life. Hawks captivate us with their majesty, but their spirituality symbolism runs deep. Let me scroll to the kind of bird I saw today. Okay, what does it mean if you see a hawk? There's this article from parade.com. Both Dubois and Wilson agree hawk sightings can be deeply significant. Seeing a hawk denotes guardianship and power, explains Wilson. Hawks are known as the protectors and messengers of the air sign energy, intellect, challenge, conflict, adventure, right? The cerebral things. In this way, the hawk is a call from the spiritual to open our eyes, both literally and metaphorically. Their medicine teaches us to be more observant of the subtle signs and synchronicities life is sending us each day. Hawk encounters remind us to activate our inner vision that we might normally miss. Okay? So I believe I saw the Cooper's hawk today. So I read that one. I felt called to it. It looked like that kind of hawk. So it says, living in woodlands, this hawk is known for agility, darting between trees. It was kind of like darting between trees, and then it came past the car. Cooper's hawks teach us speed and stealth. Their presence says we must act fast and decisively on inspiration when it strikes. Hence this random video. I mean, I plan to make a comeback on the full moon, Libra full moon, the pink moon. But it kind of just shows air sign energy, Libra energy, just the decisiveness, the deliberateness, you know, the swiftness of action on the things that we have already planned and reflected upon. It's time to make those snap judgments that you've already probably run through your brain many times. Especially if you feel strong emotions about something, that's information. Emotions are energy in motion, but that energy is a packet of information that's telling you something about your reality, telling you something about where you are relative to your situation. And when you feel that tension and that discomfort, that represents that change is on the horizon and it's time for you to soar and fly again. So I hope that this is a good omen or affirmation for you, as much as this whole day and just the past several months were for me. I am a tarot reader. Well, I'll talk more about that because it's not just tarot. You know, we're infinite beings. I'm an elemental alchemist, as I've said, a gypsy soul, a starseed, and tarot is just one tool I use. But there are many gifts that I have and I've tapped into that extend beyond cards. Although I love the cards. You'll see a lot more of me in any of the ways that I will manifest. So I look forward to connecting with you in the future, and I'm sending you so much love and light, and have a powerful day. Peace.